Are we humans good or bad? Angels or devils? I don't know about you, but for me, the answer is both. I also know that our institutions and their leaders shape how much of the devil gets into us. So how come so many bad guys get to the top in our institutions? We set it up that way. The modern world was built around institutions that presume we're self-interested. Then they align our self-interest with our duties. Workers meet KPIs to keep them on task, bosses get stock options to align their interests with shareholders, and politicians pursue our interests to win our votes. How's that going then? Those at the top often got there by gaming the system, not by doing a great job. So, politicians kowtow to power, bureaucrats running business and government organisations build their careers, not their service. Executives target share price and bonuses, not long-term value. And academics chase publications and funding, not intellectual progress. Here's someone who wanted to change all that. Elinor Ostrom, the first woman Nobel laureate in economics.
Instead of assuming that people are entirely self-interested, let's design institutions that bring out our best.
So what institutions do bring out our best? I start that task in these videos. Our institutions help us work together by entangling us in webs of mutual obligation. They orchestrate our superpower, our deep desire to do our bit so others do the same for us. When they work well, we work miracles, and we feel like $1 million. They awaken what Abraham Lincoln sublimely called the better angels of our nature. I called this series The Shared Centre to acknowledge the role of institutions as the shared centre of our civilization. They scaffold our lives together as we go about our own business. But they're increasingly perverted for private gain. So here's just one example of an institution that could heal our politics by nurturing rather than exploiting our nature. But I'll show you more soon. Meet Ireland's Finbar O'Brien. Abused by a priest when young, he'd become a heavy drinker, a loner, and deeply resentful. He associated gay people with his abuser. Gay people like 26-year-old fellow Irishman Chris Lyons. Chris also felt left out and let down by life. Finbar and Chris had a date in destiny. They both won the lottery, but they didn't even enter it. It was a lottery to choose ordinary people to represent their fellow citizens to help decide a vexed issue. Should Ireland have same-sex marriage? As Chris introduced himself, Finbar wanted to punch him. Then Chris said, I feel so insecure. I hardly know what to say. I'll probably leave soon. Finbar blurted out, "Thank you, that's how I feel." Encouraged, Chris went on. With different views on the issue at hand, they'd connected on a different, more fundamental level. The Assembly helped Ireland's political system solve a vexed and divisive issue. How different things would be today if it had been politics as usual, with activists on the street and social media revving us up and stoking our resentments so we're more and more convinced of the bad faith of those who disagree with us, convinced that problems are battles that are solved when one side wins and the other loses. And all the big players in our politics and mainstream and social media all benefit by orchestrating the battles and encouraging us to join the spiral of resentment, self-righteousness and misunderstanding. We don't need geniuses to see how bad things are getting, but we don't need saints or heroes to set it right. We need better institutions. Chris and Finbar's small miracle occurred when citizens met together, solving common problems, not fighting battles or playing to the gallery. It brought out the better angels of their nature. Institutions like these can help us rebuild a world that's fit for human habitation. Our DNA will do the rest. We're still that fragile, hairless ape that survived on the African savannah and the Arctic by solving problems in groups. We'll start from there in our next video. And Chris and Finbar? They attended the Citizen Assembly feeling isolated. Today, I'm pleased to say, they each have a new friend.